love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always
Namaste friends. In today's lecture on Python, we are going to be seeing about strings and we are going to be completing strings today. In the previous lecture, we saw about the data types, strings and the numbers. Strings is quite a, even though it sounds simple, it is quite a, big unit. There's a lot of functionalities and lot of functions to try, and that is exactly what we've actually done in today's lecture. So let's take a deep dive. Okay. Namaste friends. In today's lecture, we are going to be continuing with the strings that we actually saw. So last week, if you see that we actually saw quite a few things, which is data types, what is a number, how to actually cast, the float, integers and stuff of that nature. And then we started with strings. We saw what a string is and how to actually slice a string, and the indexes, even the negative indexes, and how to actually go backwards and stuff. So the data type itself, we had at least a lot, 20 plus, and we saw each and every command. So that is why I'm going to dedicate this lecture only for string. We will actually increase the pace as and when it is quite easy topics and not much to actually practice, but wherever it is actually necessary, let's actually do the same. So in today's topic, we'll be continuing with the string continuation, which will be talking of concatenating the strings, formatting the strings, what are the escape characters, what are the string methods, and and you can always contact me. So the concatenations and stuff, we'll be going over the Jupyter notebooks in Anaconda, and so this is what the escape characters are. This is a single quote, double quote, backslash, a new line, a carriage written, a tab, a backspace, a form feed, an octal value, and a hexagonal value. So the string methods, there are a bunch of string methods here, okay, and I think it'll be better to actually practice this each and everything. Even I would even say we can practice one or two in the escape characters, but not compromise on this. If you see here how much is there, okay, it has got a lot. Okay, a lot means lot, and as I always say, if you actually practice on this, it will be good, and you can always contact me here. All right, so having said that, let's actually get into our Jupyter notebooks, and let's actually start practicing each and everything. So the very first one I told was concatenation, right? So let's actually see the concatenation, and let's say, and this is a string, okay, so let's say A is present in, okay, and B equals my wife name Jayashree. Now what I'm going to say is C equals A plus B, and what I can do is I can say print C, okay, and I'm going to run this here. So present in Jayashree, okay, so if I want a space, I can actually give a space here. So let's actually try that, and let's see what is happening right now. See here, the space actually happened. So this is what a concatenation is. A concatenation is basically joining two things, is called as a concatenation. You can do it for anything, be it for multiplication, be it for addition, string, you can do it for anything, and that is what the concatenation of string is. All right, so something very simple, right? And we also added a space, and we also saw what is what. All right, so now let's actually come to formatting the strings. How do we actually format, and what is the format here? Okay, so let's actually take it in this manner. All right, so I'm going to say age equals 44. Okay, this is my age, and I'm going to say character equals, okay, I'm going to say my name is Prasannan, okay, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to say plus my age, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to say print my character. So let's see what this thing gives. So it cannot concatenate the string, okay, which is this to this integer. Okay, so this is just pure mathematics, right? So it cannot concatenate that to this. Okay, so because it has been given as because this is two different it's not apples to apples, it's two different things. One is an integer and the other is a string, so it can't actually add these two things. It can either be a character or an integer. So in this case what I can actually do is I can actually format a string. Okay, so in this manner I can actually get this thing done. Okay, so what I will do is the same thing, age equals 44, char equals, what I'm going to say is my name is Prasannan. Okay, and what I'm going to say is, and I'm going to open this parenthesis like this, curly brackets. Remember last time we saw a lot of brackets, curly brackets and whatnot. We saw a lot of this, and likewise here curly brackets. So just remember this syntax. I'm going to say char dot format my age. Okay, so let's actually take a step back. I put my age as age, the string as string, and what I'm actually going to say here is I'm just going to format this age, but here I'm going to give this in this curly parenthesis. Alright, so now if I actually run this, let's see, my name is Prasannan and I am 44. So what is actually happening here, friends, is this char is nothing but my name is Prasannan and comma. So this I'm actually printing it as it is. Okay, and I am in this, in this curly brackets, I'm going to format this age. Okay, so dot format this age. So in this curly bracket this gets assigned, and that is how we got this answer. Are we clear here? So this is how formatting is. See how things actually made a difference. Okay, just with the curly brackets and just with this thing. Okay, now if we don't put this curly bracket and if we just simply say age equals 44, now char equals my name is Prasannan. Okay, and then what I actually say is print char dot format age. Okay, because I'm not putting this here. So let's see what this will give. It will only give my name is Prasannan and it is not formatted this, but it is not given me an error. Alright, so that is why, okay, that is why this thing is important. Or next thing what we can do is we can take this and we can just put a curly brackets and we can see what is actually happening here. And let's actually run this again. See here, so this curly brackets is what is going to give you, the formatting the string and this answer as it is. Alright, slightly tricky, but it is good to know this, right? What is the power of the curly brackets? Alright, so having said that, we actually tried a lot of this thing here. So let's actually move on to the escape character. And as I said, this escape character we are going to only take 2 or 3, and then we are going to actually move on to the main one. Okay, so what is the main one here? So let's actually see here. I'm going to say char, I'm going to say it's me, I'm going to say one thing and then Prasannan. Okay, and then I'm going to print my char. Let me see what is giving me. It's going to give this thing. Okay, it does not solve my purpose. Okay, and why it does not solve my purpose? Because it's just a space and I was not expecting this. So what I was actually expecting is char, I'm going to say it, here I'm going to say space, I'm going to give this yes, and I'm going to say alright or Prasannan. Okay, and I'm going to remove this thing so that the confusion is not there. Now I'm going to say print char. Let's see what is actually happening. It's Prasannan. See friends, basically what is actually happening is a space has been put in there and it is just taken as it is. Okay, and we can actually try one more example and then we'll actually move on to the next one. It's a single quote. I'm going to go for a backlash. Okay, so which is a double quote, and let's actually see how this thing actually works. Okay, So let's actually take the same thing. Instead of copying pasting everything, let's actually take the same thing, and I'm going to say it's present in, okay, this will insert one, I'm going to say backlash. All right, so let's actually print this. Let's actually run this. See, the double thing actually came to a single one. Now let's try maybe one more thing. I know I actually said last thing, but let's actually try this. Okay, I just wanted to show you this. Char equals, I'm going to say present in, and I'm going to say a new return, new line, age 44. I'm going to say print char. Now let's see what is actually happening. See, present in, the age came as 44. All right, so I think the remaining ones you can actually look into my first instructions. You can actually try all these comments, and in order to save time and with interest of time, let's actually move on to the next ones. Okay, so there is something called as a string methods. Okay, so the string methods has got a lot of things. Okay, lot means it has got a lot of things. Okay, so it has got a capitalize. Okay, it has got a case fold, it has got a center. Okay, it has got a lot of things. So let's actually take this. Okay, so let's take this thing, and then let's actually take present in, your age is 44. Okay, so let's actually it converts the first capitalize. Let's actually say my name is present in, okay, it's in small, and I want to just capitalize it. So the capitalize it is basically going to take this. So I say print name dot capitalize, the same open and close parentheses, this, and this is what I get. Okay, so if I actually run this, this is what I get. Okay. So now let's actually move on to the other things, okay, because we do have quite a lot. So next one is the case fold, right? So the case fold basically converts into the small. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same one. Okay, I'm going to take the same one, and I'm going to make this as capital, and I'm going to say case fold. All right, so let's actually try running this. See here, now it became small. All right, so so these two things are easy. Now let's actually take center. Okay, let's see what a center is. Basically, let's actually take this. Okay, so let's actually take the name as mango. Okay, and what I'm going to say is x equals name dot center 20. So what I'm actually going to do is, and I'm going to say print this x. Okay, so what I'm actually trying to do here is I'm taking up 20 characters in the name mango in the middle. So let's see what it happens here. See here, 20 characters from here it actually gave here. Had I not this, if I gave 10, let's see the magic. If I say 0, if I say 0, see, so this is basically you're actually centering. All right, so sometimes you might actually need it. Okay, the other one is, let's actually do encode. Yeah, so no, I'm sorry, count. So in the count, if you want to actually count how many times certain things are actually happening, let's actually say here name I love mangoes. Mangoes is my favorite fruit. Mangoes are grown in India. Okay, so I've at least typed 3 times mango. If I want to actually count how many times the mangoes have been coming, has been written, I say name dot count, and I say mangoes, and I say print x. So let's see what it actually happens. See 3. See the beauty here. So I can actually see how many times it has actually occurred. Okay. See, encode, I'm not going to go with encode because I can't think of an example right now, but let's actually see one thing here, ends with. Okay, so I say name equals same thing, my name is present in, and I say welcome to my world. Now what I'm going to say here is, and I'm going to put a full stop. What I'm going to say here is, now x equals name dot ends with a full stop. Now I'm going to say print x. Let's see what happens. True. So yes, it actually ends with a full stop, so which means it is true. If not, it's going to say it is false. So even though it is not like the mango example where you can actually find something, let's actually do that. Now having said that, the expand tabs I'm going to skip because I'm not able to find an example. Now let's actually see something with the find. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same thing. Okay, let's take the same thing. Okay, and what I'm going to say here is find. I'm going to say welcome. I'm going to find where the welcome is. It says at the 22nd character. So it actually finds where this welcome is. So it is, if you actually count this, it is going to be 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this will actually do something, right? It will exactly give you where it is actually happening. So if you know these syntaxes, it will be very easy for you to actually say what is what and stuff of that nature. Okay. So the format, I actually give a format. Now let's actually take an index, and I'm going to skip few things here after the index. So what is going to happen here is, let's actually take the same thing, and I'm going to say index. Okay, same welcome, same 22. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, so where in text is this? It's in this index, same thing. Okay, which is very similar to the other one. Now I'm going to say whether it is a digit, is decimal. Okay, let's actually take whether it's a decimal. Okay, now I say name equals, I say u, and I say 0033. Okay, and I say x equals name dot is decimal. Let me say this, and let me print this x, and let me see what is actually happening. Yeah, it's a decimal. Okay, so in this manner you can actually figure out whether it's a decimal, whether it is a digit, whether it's an identifier, and stuff of that nature. Okay, so for a decimal, it's the same thing. You can actually give a value, and you can actually check whether it's a decimal. Now in this case, okay, we did for a decimal, so yes, it was a decimal. So whether it's a digit. Okay, now whether you can say whether it is a digit or whether it is not a digit, and you can actually say this. So instead of this, I can actually say 770088 or 98. Okay, and I can say whether it is a digit. And when I actually print this, yeah, it's a digit. So in this manner, you can actually check a lot of things, and whether it's an identifier and stuff. So let's actually go to whether it is lower or whether it is numeric and stuff of that nature. As you know, there is quite a lot here, and let's actually take this here. It's something where you can quickly check. Okay, present in is teaching the class, and whether I'm going to say whether it is lower. Okay, and I'm going to say print x. So let's see what is actually happening. Yes, it is lower. So in this manner, you can actually, it's the same pattern for the lower, upper, space, printable, and stuff of that nature. Now let's actually go and see what the join is. Okay, because it's a similar pattern, right? So let's actually go and see what a join is, and I'm going to say my tuple. So in my tuple, remember the brackets that we actually talked for the tuple is going to be this, right? I'm going to say Prasannan, comma Jayashri, comma our pet Shakti. Okay, and I'm going to say X equals, I'm going to say hashtag join my tuple. Now I'm going to say print X. Now let's see what is actually happening. See, by telling this, I've actually put a hash or in all these areas. Okay, I can give a space and I can actually increase it. So this is how I actually join. All right. So just lower, we already saw that. Replace, we already saw that command. The index we saw, the split, right split, if we saw it in the index as well. Okay, if you want, I can take a split and a right split, and I can do a swap case, and I can do a translate, and remaining things is basically the same. So let's actually see what a split is. In a split, what I'm going to say is, let's actually take same thing. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say this split. Okay, so split is basically you go to a restaurant with 4 friends and you split the bill, right? Exactly, that is what it is. So see here, Prasannan is, it is actually split it into 5 different words. Okay, you go to a restaurant with 5 friends, you split the bill, right? Exactly the same thing. Very simple, as that is what I told initially. Anything like, just English, and then if you know the commands, the coding is easy. So that is exactly what I told you. Now if you want only like right split, okay, like if you only want to actually split it on the right hand side, okay, now say suppose you take the same, okay, you take the same, and then what I actually do is I take this and I do a comma, I do a comma, I do a comma, I do a comma, and then I say R split, and then I say this comma, a space of this, and I'm going to split it. See, it has given me everything like this. Okay, the space as a separator. Now having said that, I said like let's actually take a swap case, let's take a title, let's take a translate, because the upper we already know what is what, and let's actually see what is this. Okay, so the name equals hello, my name is Prasannan. Now what I say here is X equals name dot swap case. I say print X. Let's see what is actually happening. See what has actually happened. It is actually swapped. Some random this thing, blah blah blah. See, interesting, right? Something like a fun, right? Now let's see what a title is. Let's see what a translate is, and then we'll actually end the string methods. Now what I'm going to say here is hello, the name equals welcome to my world, and then what I'm going to say is X equals name dot title, and then I'm going to print this X. So let's see what is actually happening. See, it is actually capitalized wherever, so that is what the title, it is actually capitalized, all these first things. All right, so let's actually see a translate, and let's actually see how it goes. Okay, so in a translate, Okay, it actually replaces. A translation is, it's basically replaces. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my dictionary. Okay, so remember, whenever the dictionary comes, what is the first thing? It's a curly brackets. I'm going to say 73 and 70. Okay, and let's take the name equals hello Pras. And what I'm going to do is print name dot translate. I'm going to say my dict and this, and let's see what happens. Hello Pras. So basically it replaces it actually, the basic thing of a translation is you want to actually replace, okay, an S, say suppose a P with an S and stuff of that nature. All right. So what I'm actually doing here is it is actually given me the same thing. Okay, but if I actually, let's see this. Maybe there's an ASCII here. All right. This does not matter. What I will do is hashtag use a dictionary with ASCII codes to replace 83 P with 80 yes. Now having said that, let's actually take this and let's do this and let's run. All right, I trust you guys would have actually understood the string method. So just go over my initial PowerPoint and let's actually have a look into the different areas of what I've actually done. Thank you. Namaste friends, I trust you would have actually understood about the string methods and what I was actually trying to do with different commands. And if you actually go over my initial PowerPoint presentation, you have a lot of commands, so kindly try. Not everything is going to be useful right away, but it will be eventually useful while you keep going. All right, thank you. Namaste friends, with today's lecture we have actually completed strings. I trust you have actually enjoyed it. So kindly practice, and if you have any questions, please contact me. And like always, I would like to thank two persons. One is you for giving me your golden time, and the other is my wife Jayashri, following me to follow my passion. Till we see next time, cheers, take care.